for service at 9:38 p.m. in Commerce Township at the Prime 7 restaurant located in the 8600 block of Cooley Lake Road on a shooting. And when deputies arrived on scene, they located a single shooting victim identified as, I'll spell the last name for you, Shkambi, 44 years old. He was lying on the patio outside of the restaurant, and the deputies began immediate life-saving procedures. Commerce Township Fire arrived after our deputies took over treatment and transported the victim to DMC Huron Valley in Commerce Township, where he was pronounced deceased. He's known to our investigators as the general manager of the Prime 7 restaurant. We immediately activated a number of our specialty units, including our special investigation unit, our fugitive apprehension team, obviously our crime scene folks. And they were all responding to the scene. And within 20 minutes, the suspect had turned himself in. Our fugitive apprehension team took custody of the suspect without incident, transported him to the sheriff's office where he was interviewed by SIU, our Special Investigation Unit, and he confessed that he had shot the individual. We did recover a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, believed to have been used in the shooting. Obviously, ballistics and those kinds of things will be pending. We'll be testing that shortly. The firearm was listed as stolen and had been stolen, I believe, out of Livonia. Clinton Township. I knew it was somewhere south of us. It was stolen out of Clinton Township in January of this year. At this point, we don't have formal charges on the suspect, so we're not going to name him or release his photograph. As soon as we do have formal charges, which we anticipate we'll probably get those tomorrow, then we'll release his name and photograph. So we wanted to at least get this information out to folks. As I said, there were a lot of questions about what happened at the restaurant and things like that. Is there some kind of ongoing concern or things like that? We have who we believe is the sole perpetrator of this in custody.
Sure, Michelle. What connection did these two have to one another, if any?
They knew each other over a period of time, and this apparently escalated into a disagreement. And during that disagreement, we believe the suspect shot the victim twice, causing his death.
There was, we understand that the victim was once indicted and sentenced on some federal drug charges. Is this in any way connected to that situation with the suspect, or?
Yeah, we're not going to really get into some of the background on that. We're aware of what you're talking about, that previous drug charge. I guess without getting too deep, we don't think it's specifically related to that at all. But we're aware of that. Yes.
Do you know what the disagreement was about?
We have some sense of it, but it's still ongoing. They're trying to run down some other pieces of information. We have a pretty good idea, but until, as I said, we're kind of getting out ahead of our skis, but we wanted to make sure the community was calmed down. People understood we had the suspect, and now we're gonna cross the T's and dot the I's.
Did he, during his confession, tell you or your investigators why he did it?
Yes.
I'm kind of running a little later on this one. You identified him as the general manager. I've seen media reports saying he was the owner of the Prime restaurant.
General manager.
General manager and owner, or not owner?
General manager, not owner.
Were there other people in the establishment and they walked outside because he was out on a patio, or can you describe how this went down? Because it was a watch party for the football game, apparently, has been reported.
Yeah, it happened outside. They were having kind of an ongoing discussion, and they were outside when it occurred. There were other people there.
But forgive me, so there was an.
There were not other people involved in
Were there people in the
this.
establishment watching the Lions game and these two went outside?
Yes.
Okay, so nobody else was in proximity at the time?
There were other witnesses.
Yeah, I mean, there
being
were,
interviewed.
no one else was involved, I guess, if you're asking that.
Yeah.
Were there other people around? Yes.
Okay. And forgive me, asked and answered, but I'm gonna ask again just for clarity. Is there a particular reason you can share as to why you don't wanna share a specific motive at this time?
We're early in the investigation. I mean, generally, lots of times we never share a motive until we get into court.
Right.
But, you know, we just want to have kind of some sense of calmness come from this situation. We've seen a lot of social media posts and concerns, and community obviously is anxious.
Are you able to share at all as to whether this was a dispute that was building over time, or was it more of a spur of the moment, impromptu type thing?
I would characterize it as more building over time and kind of came to a head.
Could there be other people involved in this shooting?
Not that we're aware of, no. And nothing would lead us to believe that, but obviously that's part of the crossing the Ts and dotting the Is.
Any previous criminal history of the suspect in this case you can share?
That would be once we have charging, yes. There is prior criminal history.
Drunk driving, OWI.
Well, I guess we just shared it. The drunk driving.
But no violent offenses?
When you said regarding the federal drug stuff with the victim, you guys don't think it's specifically related to that at all? But specifically, is it tangentially related to that or in any way or
They're trying to dig deeper into what more specifically as it relates to the disagreement. So we'll just have to leave it there for the moment.
Is the suspect a citizen of the United States?
I honestly don't know that.
Yes.
I've seen the suspect attributed as a resident of Farmington Hills and or Commerce Township. Are you able to clarify where the person resides?
Farmington Hills.
and he turned himself into Farmington Hills Police?
The suspect was drinking in the bar before they went outside.
Not that I'm aware of.
Are you able to share, Sheriff, this happens 9:30 last night, and forgive me if you've answered it and I just didn't hear. The suspect turned himself in today or shortly after this incident?
20 minutes after.
So he basically went straight pretty much to a police department from this scene?
More or less. I think he probably had a moment to think that obviously we were gonna put the dogs out. You know, we had our fugitive team and our special investigation unit, and there were witnesses. So I think probably he had a moment of clarity and thought, I better turn myself in.
Can you share how many witnesses and if you're able to share what they were all doing outside? Meaning, was this an argument that then, let's take it outside type of a situation?
Yeah, we're probably not gonna get too deep into the argument and all of that at this point.
I'm curious how they ended up on the patio though versus still in the establishment if they're at a watch party and it's warmer inside type.
Well, I don't think they were at a watch party together.
Okay.
That's what you're asking.
Okay. And can you clarify how many people witnessed this?
I'd have to actually read the report to see how many people saw versus heard and.
Multiple though?
Yeah, there were multiple people, absolutely.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.